3:30 p.m. mattered to me more than the other hours of my day. It began with the aroma of freshly squeezed limes pulling me in from the doorway. Since the first grade, every day after school, I would run across our apartment to where my mama sat crisscross, laying my head on her knee as she would tell me stories from her childhood. In between warm bites of rice and sabji, her hands moved, eyebrows lifted, expressions changed as she vividly detailed her adventures growing up. In awe, I would think to myself, that's my mama, unstoppable. By 8th grade, however, these stories stopped. She still made me the same rice and sabji, still with the same lime that pulled me in at 3:30 p.m., but now she would only ask me about my day, my goals. Soon I came to understand why our decade-long tradition had finally ended when she revealed the last story. One of a young girl forced to sacrifice her education for an arranged marriage. I was devastated, missing those sacred afternoon rituals. Why was a woman's education deemed less valuable than marriage? Why were generations of women in my family confined to the same fate? I couldn't help thinking about how she poured everything into making sure my childhood looked different. 13 years of martial arts, sports, club, music, every opportunity she could give me, she did. She always told me that the present mattered the most because it's the only thing one could control. But after hearing her last story, I saw it through a new lens. To seize every moment in my present as an opportunity to continue our story. After all, it was the only thing I could control. Empowering women and envisioning a future where a woman's voice matters as much as the man next to her defines an equitable future for me. Ever since, I found myself striving to create new stories, starting with what I knew best, martial arts. I spent 12 years perfecting the art, breaking boards, my self-doubts, and finding my confidence here. As a second-degree black belt, I felt it was my calling to pass this confidence on to others. So I taught women's self-defense through classes at my YMCA. I believe the most important skill needed as a woman to be treated equally in society is confidence, a strong voice. In karate, ki up is essential. It embodies inner power, control, and spirit. This translates to real life, helping women speak up. On Lehigh's campus, I hope to continue these self-defense clinics by collaborating with the Lehigh University Taekwondo Club. I envision spending Thursday nights at Taylor Gym, empowering every woman on campus by sharing the same courage martial arts has given me. Over the past 5 years, I've had the opportunity to train more than 7,000 girls, and I intend to continue to train thousands more. Today, my inspiration to empower women has only grown as I tackle the systems that have gender disparity deeply ingrained. I firmly believe that as much as one can do on an individual level, there's a much larger system that is equally at fault for the disparities today. Corporations consistently practice hiring bias in cases unintentionally as the AI tools used to detect hiring bias is trained on historically skewed datasets. To address this last fall, I led a team to build Verify, an add-on that identifies hiring bias in corporate datasets. Suddenly, our work was gaining international recognition by the NYAS. Through it all, I do remain rooted to my first responsibility, continuing 2 stories every 3:30 p.m. My mom's and mine. Despite Verify's potential to promote workplace equality, DI tool implementations have a policy ban within the US at the moment. However, by utilizing the opportunities provided by the IIP, I would be able to continue making progress in this field with mentorship to help me implement and scale Verify internationally. As an Odia woman, education is how I continue the stories of women in my family whose journeys were cut short by societal constraints. And I understand how privileged I am to be afforded such an opportunity. I hope to continue challenging myself intellectually, both as an engineer and as a women empowerment advocate through Dr. Rita Jones' Gender and Society course. On campus, Lehigh University's WISE Plus program will allow me to receive mentorship and a support system from role models who have overcome similar challenges. Everything I learn and contribute at Lehigh, I plan to carry beyond campus. With Lehigh Girls Who Code Club, I will expand access to technical skills and increase female representation in male-dominated fields. I will continue spending my summers educating and working towards gender equity one student at a time by volunteering with Lehigh's America Reads and Counts school leaders. On campus, I want to write stories that not only honor the Odia women in my family, but also to immerse myself in a community where I can help the women around me do the same. Equality begins with action, building the confidence for women to recognize her own voice, equipping her with knowledge that gives her ideas the same weight as the man next to her in a system that is often working against her, and most importantly, surrounding her with the support of other women on the same journey. I am both hopeful and excited to take the next steps of this vision at Lehigh University this fall.